All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. The she be down the ride, oh, I bet that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How are y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling airy? Let's talk. Very important video. I'm about to drop some science on you. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of writing, which I usually don't do because I had so much up here in my big head, and I wanted to make sure it was on paper. We've been talking about people getting eliminated from positions. We've been talking about the post office finding ways to fire people. And it caused a bunch of you guys saying, oh, the union will protect us and this, that, this, and the third, and everybody's uproared. So my thing is not to create no uproar, but to try to give some information that could possibly help you. So I did speak about when the people were coming down from the top, and that's going to be a whole nother video about DeJoy going for the executives. Please don't applaud that, because again, want for your brother what you want for yourself. Hey, my brothers, Jay. Listen, they all started where we were. Nonetheless, they have to go with them with the riffs. With us, they go after us with written warnings, PDIs, IIs, ABCs, and 1, 2, 3s. So I'm going to give you some information that you probably didn't know, and excellent information on how to respond. Okay? Because a lot of people complain, oh, my union doesn't do this, my union's in bed with management. But here goes. You are your own keeper. And again, this is me and my methods. Somebody else may have different methods, but this is what I utilize if I ran into certain situations. But first, I tell you, I wrote a lot of stuff down. First things first, understand why you got written up. Again, this is about getting written up, getting your ass in trouble, so on and so forth. But in order to understand that, you have to understand that there's 3 different types of write-ups, PDIs, IIs. We're just gonna call them write-ups for now, okay? Number 1 is the manager wants to correct problematic behavior. All right, so you are supposed to basically they saying, okay, there's some issues here. They want you to identify the problem, what you did wrong, and take steps to fix it. Hey, you keep using this machine the wrong way. We keep telling you that you need to have a seatbelt on when you're using a forklift, and that's a problematic behavior, and they want you to sincerely fix it. Okay, that's the first type of write-up. Second type of write-up is where management doesn't want to fire you, but they want to start that paper trail. I'm not telling you about that little paper trail. That paper trail in case your performance gets worse. All right. So if you just cutting the fool and they say, okay, all right, we know how to deal with this clown. And then they start using that paper trail. Okay. Third is whoever, they already decided you are a waste of human life for the post office, and they decided to fire you, but they're building that case against you. That's why, you see some people in the office all the time. They are building that paper trail. That way, when the time comes for union to try to defend you, you have no ground to stand on. It's very rare that happens because union always brings them back. But now things are changing and they're getting tighter with these rules. I don't know what the union is negotiating with, upper management with, and the upper management say, hey, you know what? We're going to give you this, but you know what? We're going to tighten up on the attendance. We're going to tighten up on the blah, blah, blah. So I don't know, but you gotta do diligent. All right. So the first thing that I always emphasize, and I've told you this before in other videos, is always keep yourself a little pad, right? Keep a little pad and a little pen. You saw it in one of I had my little, lanyard on and I had my pen because I like to keep notes. All right. That's not an old people thing. That's an intelligent thing. Keep notes. All right. The first thing you got to do when they pull you into the office or wherever they decide to give you the PDI is to be calm. All right. Be calm. Now, I hate, man, they used to try to bring us up there to talk to us. And first thing that happens is I automatically would tense up. Me. I'd be like, oh, that's some bullshit, man. And it kind of ruins your day knowing that you're going to be going in for a PDI, an II, a write-up. You have to remain calm. That's first, because your actions speak louder than your words. Be calm, all right? Second thing, when you're sitting there in front of them, listen carefully. Buy some time when they're talking to you. This is a psychological thing. Ask them to repeat themselves. Give yourself a few seconds so you can think about what they're telling you. If you need to, repeat what they say back to them without sarcasm or defiance. This is key. Do not be sarcastic or defiant. Hey, so can you repeat what you just said? All right, I did what? Okay. So you're saying that I did XYZ on the machine? All right. Okay. Give me a minute. All right. That's important. Do not be sarcastic. Ask some questions. This because they don't expect you they like to dictate the meeting. Got you guys sitting next to you, your girl, whoever is sitting next to you, and they're just listening to it. But you got to use these tactics. And it helps. Trust me, it helps. It shows your level of maturity and intelligence. Ask them some questions. Take some notes. Ask genuine questions without being passive aggressive or sarcastic. This is what I mean. So you saying that you saw me without my seatbelt on the forklift. That's what you trying to say. That's sarcastic. Ask a question like, so you said you saw me without a seatbelt on the forklift? Okay, well, I'm not really sure when. Never admit to it. That's the difference. So the two differences. Do not leap to your own defense and say, others do it. That's so childish. I hear it all the time. That is everybody. I mean, even in the comment section, y'all say, well, this person did it. I don't understand. People email me with that silliness. Well, this person takes off all the time. And do not leap to your own defense and say others do it. The same thing. And don't get in trouble. All right. This person never wears their seatbelt, but I don't see you guys harassing them. That ain't your business. Stop snitching. All right. That's what the union will deal with because they're sitting there taking these notes. But again, you need to take notes also. All right. Don't make excuses. That's what you need to emphasize. Don't make no excuses. Man, I was in a rush. Because that's admitting your guilt. You let the union deal with that. Or when you're doing a written response, this is very important as well. You must do your own written response. That helps you because everything that you put down is well thought out. Again, no excuses. If they ask you for a response right then and there, what you got to say about this? You have anything you want to say? Say, I heard everything you had to say, but can you just give me a day or two so I can think everything over? All right. I want to reflect on what you had to say, because if we respond right then and there, we tend to respond out of emotion. That is, man, I used to do that all the time. Man, what kind of bullshit you talking about? I took too long at the fuel stop. Man, you crazy, blah, 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 blah. Again, take a day to respond. You need to reflect on everything. That way you can be calculated in what you do. Number 7, when they ask you to sign the documents, signing documents, I've seen it a million times. I refuse to sign it. I refuse to sign it. If they ask you, to sign a document simply stating that you received the document. Okay? There's no issue with that. But when you do sign it, you sign your name and you write underneath it, I am acknowledging that I received this document. That is not an acknowledgement of guilt. Got some papers here. Sorry. You need to make sure if they ask you to sign it and say that you agree with it, again, don't not sign it because that kind of works against you. Sign it, write down underneath it, I agree or disagree with some of the comments here, but I do agree that I did receive this document. Again, it's wordplay. I don't agree with everything you wrote down in this, but I agree you gave it to me. All right. Response, when you get the chance, make sure it's in writing. This is why, because somebody's sitting behind there and they may chop up some of the words that you write and it may look bad against you later. Again, they're building a case for you. Respond in writing and ask for that to be attached to your II. That way later on down the line, every single II, hopefully you don't have a lot, has a written response, not an excuse, with your II. Building your own paper trail. All right. If they're targeting you, they'll take your words and misconstrue it when they put down, oh, well, he wrote down, he says he didn't know, but he didn't realize No. I don't know if I did have my seatbelt on or not. Okay, so don't let them misconstrue your words. But when you do write your written response, make sure it's well worded. It needs to be added to your file for the written record. All right. When you do, make sure that you focus on the facts, not your feelings. All right. Focus on facts, not your feelings. Don't air none of your other grievances. Oh, I was jumping in and out. I had to use the bathroom. Focus on facts. Don't air unrelated grievances. All right? Something that ain't got nothing to do with what they're talking about. Don't be talking about. And then the other day when I got in early, I had to go and find this guy and he had to get the key and I had to switch forklifts and going back and forth and the battery was not. That's unrelated to what they were talking to you about. All right. List what you think is true in the PDI and list what you don't believe is true. All right. So again, say, you know what? I agree I was on the forklift. I do not agree that I was driving the forklift without a seatbelt. I had just got on before I had a chance to start moving and doing my shift. I was getting my stuff together, my lunch bag, whatever. And I didn't have a chance to put the seatbelt on yet. But again, I didn't move the forklift. You don't just, pop out of your car and into a forklift and it's already seatbelt. Whatever excuse you want to make sure it's well worded. All right. And make sure it's factual. This is the time to list your proof as well. Make sure that you have some visual proof. If you say, there was people there that saw this incident. You could list their names if you need to, your witnesses. And if you have proof such as attachments, you make sure that you have some attachments. It takes X amount of time. And this is where you got to do your research and you look at the documents when you got your license to drive it. You must, do a pre-trip inspection. I was just making sure that the seat was, when I was looking around, I was making sure that the brakes were, whatever it is. That's part of, your pre-trip inspection before you get on a forklift. I'm using a general statement here. It's not just about forklifts. In your written response, be very specific and to the point. Don't go around the world. Well, it was raining out. I had to, go and get inside and change my clothes, change my boots and blah, blah, blah. And then when I walked down the aisle, I saw Chuck over there and I had to stop and say Chuck. And Chuck said, your forklift was a little damaged, so make sure you check it out. That's too much. Be very specific. Get to the point. In your response, be polite and professional. That's very difficult for all of us to do. Being polite and professional. You know why? It shows you the bigger person if they're actually intending to retaliate or they're targeting you. All right. Most important, review your contract. Sit down, look it over. If it has something to do with your attendance, have something to do with what you're wearing, look over your contract. Have the people that work side by side with you in the union. They are there to help you. Review your contract. List all facts from the contract in that worded statement that you write back to them. If you sincerely feel there was retaliation because you spoke up about or complained about a violation or safety concern, because that happens all the time. The day before you was like, you know what, this is messed up. There's a leak and you guys keep, I'm going to call OSHA on you. And there's somebody slipped last week and you constantly that one that complains about everything. And then one day you get a write up. If you believe that they're just retaliating against you, list the facts, not your feelings. The facts, not your feelings. 2 days ago, I spoke about this leak. I emphasized that it was dangerous because I noticed that Chuck slipped and fell over here in the corner. I brought it up to this manager, that manager, this manager. Ironically, 2 days later, I get written up for a seatbelt violation. That's facts. There's nothing not factual about that. This builds a case for you in case something happens a little bit later, or in case you want to go with that EEO, which, it's up to you if you want to go that route. Also, do not talk to your coworkers. Those are the biggest snitches in the world. You don't know who the ops are. They the ones you be like, yeah, man, they pulled me in the office. I can't believe this. This is crazy. And blah, blah, blah. And I got this thing. Yeah, I'm going to tell them about XYZ. And then that person's like, what? Say what? Then they on the phone with the manager. Hey, such and such just told me about, you got written up. And then, he going to say this, that, this, and third. And he's going to probably file an EEO against you. Keep your business to yourself. All right. Most important, and this is not to knock anybody, but this is not something that you guys want to hear. If it's a legitimate write-up, fix the problem. Bam, there we go. Fix the freaking problem. If it's because you dress inappropriately every day, you come to work and you're not supposed to be wearing mesh sneakers and they wrote you up because of that, get a different pair of sneakers. That's it. Okay? If it's because you wear too short of a clothing or you wear whatever it is, you got your straps on, ladies, or fix the problem. If it's your attendance, you already know what I feel about that. If it's your performance, if you're not performing up to the standards, if you're at a station and they typically have X amount of packages or parcels scanned within an hour and you are less than half of that, if you're only at 20% and they bring that up to you in PDI, fix the problem. Don't make excuses. It shows maturity. All right. And don't give excuses because of it. Give results. Give results. Don't give excuses. Give results. Hey, listen, I'm new to this. I'm not accustomed to this. I'm not good with reading. I have a bad eye. My shoulder hurts, whatever. But I am going to 110% do what I need to do to bring my performance up. It will not stay idle. It will go up, progressively get better. If it has to do with your performance, make sure your performance progressively gets better. All right. You don't want to stay idle. Say, listen, I can't move as fast as Jen. Jen's been here for 14 years, but one day I'm going to get there. That shows you want to do better. That shows that you have intentions of doing better. That shows you've acknowledged what the actual PDI was about. And you have all intentions on not getting written up for the same exact thing. You zim. Hopefully, this bit of information that I just happened to write, because I wrote lots of pages. I don't know how much of this you're actually going to see is, the way I edit my videos, but that is ideally what you should do in order to protect yourself for later, because it's coming. Understand, they are going to start utilizing IIs in order to eliminate employees. Trust what I tell you. This is JH. Y'all have yourself a great rest of your day. We out.